Now, we're going to go into something outside of living your design now, where Camronn's going to take a few minutes to explain the process of what we're going to go into as a bonus after this Living Your Design Awakening experience is completed. So definitely stay if you're thinking about joining us for the rest of this, and if you are joining us, definitely stay, because it's going to help lay the groundwork for what you're going to receive and what to expect. And we're also going to do a few minutes of questions if there's any logistical stuff that you need, any help that you need. We'll have some time for that.
Awesome. So what we're going to be practicing or experiencing is something that I'm calling conscious deconditioning. And as Andrea mentioned, this is outside of the methodology of human design, though at least in my estimation, it is very, very compatible with human design. The human design methodology is that if you follow your strategy and authority, you engage in this experiment to prove to yourself whether or not it actually works for you, then you will go through deconditioning automatically. You'll encounter situations where your not self fears or your conditioning say you should do one thing, and when you tune into your strategy and authority, it indicates a different course is better for you. And if you experiment with taking the course recommended by your strategy and authority, then you will discover that you don't need these not self strategies. You don't need to be running mental software that is based in fear and insecurity and perception of lack. And this process takes around 7 years. What we're talking about here with conscious deconditioning are methods that can speed up that process. Perhaps it'll still take 7 years to get fully clear. Perhaps you can accomplish that in less time. I have seen individuals who dive into conscious deconditioning fully, and they are able to complete the process of their deconditioning in about 2 years. It is not an easy road. It is challenging and very, very rewarding. This is something that I have been living for about 5 years now. I really started my process in 2012 when I had a profoundly impactful awakening experience that basically inverted my perception of reality. I no longer perceive myself as a physical being inside of a physical universe. My experience now is something closer to experiencing myself as the universe itself, having a temporary experience of limitation seen through the lens of my character and my body. I was privileged to have a number of other people around me that were going through a similar process, and I got to observe them and learn from them, and some of them have gone farther than I have at this point, and some of them have developed or discovered very powerful methods to decondition. I have not taught this before. I haven't been invited before, so I'm excited about this invitation to share what I've uncovered, what I've discovered, and what I've experienced over the past 5 years. I don't have firm commitments yet, but I will be extending invitations to some of my teachers and some of the people that I've shared parts of my journey with to join this bonus program and be able to answer questions and share the methods and perspectives that have really worked for them. I don't have, I'm not going to, of course, go into all of the details now of what this process involves because we're nearly at the end of our time and it would just be a little bit too much. But I will give a little preview that I think can be very helpful. The foundation of this work of deconditioning consciously is the state that is often called no mind, or a state of stillness. When your mind is active and engaged, it's it is attempting to broadcast information, or it's at least running programs of information that you have already experienced. We often perceive this as a voice that's running in our head, saying things. It could be our voice, it could be the voice of a parent or a teacher or someone else. It is often a very critical voice, finding all kinds of problems with ourselves and our world, problems with reality. So to be able to decondition, you need to be able to separate yourself from this voice, to recognize that it is not you. You are able to perceive it, so it isn't the same thing as you. It must be something slightly distinct. So how do we get to this place of no mind or stillness? How can we use our minds to turn off our minds? It's a bit of a paradox. By the way, this process is fraught with paradox, and if that is something that's difficult or uncomfortable for you, then it might not be the thing that you want to go into. So the paradox here is, how do you use the mind to escape the mind? How do you use the mind to get to a place of stillness and quietness? And there is a method that, in my experience, works for just about everybody and takes about 5 minutes to learn. We call this practice 1. And let's see, I want to get just a show of hands. Do you guys want to take about 5 minutes now to learn this practice and be able to take it forward?
My hand's up.
Yeah? Okay. Okay. So we'll do that then.
Yeah, it looks like we've got some agreement here. Yep.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you, Camronn.
My pleasure. So here's how it works. I encourage you to get comfortable, to sit in a position where your body is not a distraction for you. So usually that means upright and stable, so that you're not needing to shift, so that your body is balanced and doesn't require your attention to keep yourself from falling over. I encourage you to breathe deeply and with regularity at whatever pace feels comfortable or appropriate to you. Breath has a profound effect on the state of your consciousness and is one of the hacks or little cracks into the state of your consciousness that you can use to change it. So breathe deeply and regularly. And bring your attention, eyes closed, bring your attention to the audio that is playing inside your mind. There may be a voice running inside your head right now, maybe not. Just notice the audio that you are experiencing internally. As a side note, for some people, this is a little bit easier if they do it visually instead. We can talk about the visual method later, but for now, I'm going to stick with audio because that seems to be the easiest for most people. So bring your awareness to your internal audio and notice that you can actually change it. You can make the sound inside your head be basically whatever you want. So we'll do that really easily by playing a song inside our heads. Let's go with something simple like Mary Had a Little Lamb. So sing Mary Had a Little Lamb inside your head, not out loud. And that's pretty easy for most of us. And now switch the song to something else, maybe one of your favorite songs that you hear on Pandora or Spotify or whatever you use all the time. And change it again to a different song. And the point of this exercise is simply to find the control knob, to find the controls inside your awareness that allows you to change the audio that's playing inside your head. And to prove to yourself that you can, in fact, easily control it. Now that you've located the control knob for your internal audio, what I would like to invite you to do is to change the audio, change the knob to the sound of silence. Choose to hear silence and nothing else. Make the silence loud. Make the silence deafening. Make the silence fill your awareness. This silence can be chosen consciously. We can metaphorically turn the little knob that controls the audio in our head to a channel that is silent. This is not a state of no mind. This is still representative of a conscious mental choice. We are choosing to hear silence. But the silence is a mere one step away from our objective, which is nothing at all. So we can choose consciously to experience silence. We can choose to go to this place of internal quiet. And from there, we simply relax into nothing at all. You'll notice the silence fade away into nothing at all. And if some audio comes back in your head, some thought resurfaces, that's okay. This is part of the process. Simply notice it. Notice what it is without getting caught up in it. And once you've noticed the thought, once you've noticed the words or the sound, choose to once again experience silence. And notice that silence fades away into nothing at all. So you're invited to enjoy that silence for a moment. Breathe deep. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back to this presentation. That was practice 1, silence. And this is the foundation of conscious deconditioning.
It's a beautiful place to begin.
I agree. It's a beautiful place.
It is a beautiful place. Yeah, it feels amazing. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. So, in this conscious deconditioning experience, we will be building upon that foundation and going through our selves, finding distortions, finding areas where we are convinced of something that isn't true. This belief in something that isn't true is going to introduce a duality into our awareness. A duality involves two opposite poles, and we are going to have an attachment towards one side, and we are going to have an aversion to the other side. The aversion usually is going to be connected to a trigger, something that we perceive in our environment that we want to avoid, that causes a knee-jerk reaction. And this is going to be maintained through an energy pattern in the body. This is the structure of conditioning. A belief in something that is not true, introducing a duality where we experience attachment, aversion, and triggers, maintained by a pattern of unwanted energy in the body. This is known as a samskara. And this obscures our ability to perceive clearly. Another term that one of my teachers uses is a storm. This is like a storm in your nervous system. And storms involve clouds, and clouds obscure vision and hide the truth. So that is what we'll be working with. And I'll teach you in practice 2 a method for bringing clarity to storms or samskaras and resolving them so that they no longer obscure your vision. So that's a little preview. Go ahead, Andrea.
I feel a lot of hope around that. Thank you, Camronn. I'm really, really excited about this.
Me too. Thank you so much for inviting me to share. It means a lot to me.
You're welcome. And for those of you that don't know, Camronn is actually a very accomplished energy healer as well. It's part of his gift. Besides being a Living Your Design guide, a BG5 certified consultant, he also does that as well, and now this. So I'm very, very honored to have you all here. And Rebecca is asking, will you use using our journaling homework for discussing how to use it to learn how to observe our conditioning? Yeah, definitely. The journaling will help you with this entire process, and you can use it however you like, but that is a very good application, Rebecca, if that works for you.
Yeah, the methodology that I followed before I discovered design incorporated a very similar practice, except it was called spiritual autolysis. And autolysis means self-digestion, using your mind to undo your mind.
Cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
Right.
Thank you so much for the questions. Thank you for being here, and we look forward to being able to interact with you in this exciting awakening experience.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Camronn. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye for now.